Hi, I'm Jake Stewart, research scientist here at the Illinois Fire Service Institute, home of IFSI research. Today in part 2 of our series, we're going to talk about ways to minimize your exposures on the Fireground when doffing any personal protective equipment. This video is going to focus on removing the hood after leaving the fire building or after completing on-scene decontamination, and we'll be using the same simulated exposures that we did in part 1. Now that the firefighter has removed his gloves, as we demonstrated in our previous video, he then needs to remove the rest of his PPE. Typically, this would mean pulling down his hood, removing his facepiece, and finally removing the hood. By pulling the hood down, his neck is exposed to the contaminants on the exterior of the hood and collar. To minimize exposures, the firefighter stays on air while removing the air pack. He then takes off his coat carefully, trying to minimize any contamination inside the coat. The next step is pulling the hood over the facepiece. He needs to make sure that he grabs the outside to avoid any contamination. Finally, after hitting the donning switch, he can remove the facepiece, hood, and regulator in one piece. By changing how the hood is removed, the firefighter can limit his exposure to fireground contaminants. In situations where the firefighter will need to keep his or her coat on, or may need to redon the mask and hood, this process may not be feasible. Recently, there have been advances in hood technologies. While they show promise to protect us from exposures during the firefight, we run the risk of defeating those advances once we pull the hood down around our necks. We understand that not all firegrounds are the same, and you may not be able to perform this procedure every time, but it should be implemented whenever possible. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe.